Right, we see from Mobia Kwabasonko about possible multimedia. And you can so and then they can win your channel is for YouTube. Best also better when we share video na man akwe. We share like, comment, subscribe. We and share content no and as I recommend the channel no ammonia been so your videos in the area. We didn't edit Francis at you, aka possible. They can edit a farm manual say more HOG my Ghana. I've been in a dome support. I call you near the be about so. No, I saw you back be a drop. I mean, person say what I do. And you can so you can't change some audio.
Questions right now. Please, your text messages, start isolating them. I'll come to you. I'm sure we have a whole lot. Social media is buzzing. Thank you very much, social media, for your patronage. Who is Ahmed Suale?
Well, you tell me. You brought the question up.
Well, Ahmed Suale is a journalist we know. I never met him. He works for Tiger Eye.
Right.
He's an investigative journalist, undercover investigative journalist. It is reported that you, Agyapong, put out Ahmed Suale's photographs to the world, and even threatened that you will attack him if you found him.
You see,
weeks later, Ahmed Suale was killed by gunmen.
You see,
up till today, the police is yet to find out who killed the famous journalist.
You see, you are a seasoned journalist. So please kindly don't distort information.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he said within 2 weeks.
No, within weeks.
Within weeks. Check how many weeks.
I don't know.
Good. Please find out.
Okay.
And 2, don't say that Ahmed Suale was undercover journalist.
Wasn't he?
No. It means you don't even have analysis videos.
I've seen them.
Yeah. Did you see Ahmed Suale's face covered?
I don't know him. But which role did he play?
Right. Ahmed Suale was the one who was actually sitting by this fake attorney guy.
Or the interpreter of sorts.
Right. He sits there.
Oh, yeah, I know him. He's not that tall.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's Suale.
That's Suale. Did you see his face?
No, his face was there.
No.
I saw him.
So don't use that word.
But if his face was not covered, why did you find the need to show his photograph?
Because most of the Ghanaians didn't know him.
So why were you showing it to them?
I was showing it because if a man comes to you and say that, take this, it's a gift. Let's use Kwesi Nyantakyi, for example. Kwesi Nyantakyi was invited 3 consecutive times to Dubai. The first one, he went with the Liberian president.
Oh, George Weah?
Yes.
Oh, you're serious?
Yes. They stayed in a hotel. Anas and his group did not show up. Kwesi Nyantakyi threatens to sue them.
I'm getting confused.
Yes.
Kwesi Nyantakyi went to Dubai on their invitation about the sponsorship of the league.
Yes.
Okay.
He went there with Oponwia.
What was Oponwia doing there?
Well, he was contesting
for presidency.
Right.
So what was he doing there?
They are going there thinking, well, the way they portray Sheikh Atani and the rest.
He has money.
Yeah, he has money. So Kwesi went with him
to raise funding for George Weah.
Right. And he didn't show up.
Did he show up at all?
No. So he was threatening to go and see them, sue them. That was the first time Anas introduced himself, pleading with Kwesi Nyantakyi.
Oh, that dog. Yeah. Himself as Anas.
Yes. That all.
So Kwesi saw him.
Yeah.
They spoke.
Yeah. So this is, my boys, this and that. I'm sorry, you're going to aid. So you saw the video that they were sitting there. Anas was not there. Ahmed Suale was there. So to show his face, and let me clear this air. When I showed the video on Net 2, my workers came to the studio and told me, they asked the question, don't you know this guy? I said, no. I said, oh, but he was one of the guys who paid his school fees. I said, I don't remember. Because I always pay people's school fees. He said, you came here, he said he was going to university, you gave him 1,500. I said, I don't remember. And he said, oh, he has been coming here. And I said, please, he's very dangerous. Don't allow him to come here. He will set us up. So when he comes, beat him up. Throw him out of the place.
Beat him up?
Yes, this is what I said. I will not lie to you.
But that's not a bad word. Like, that's not a good word, sorry.
Well, but you see, judges who have died, judges who have been sacked from their job, custom officers with Anas style, I have a problem with that. Because it's complete entrapment.
Oh, those judges who, yeah.
Yes, complete entrapment. So to show somebody's face and say that you are coming to trap me, and you are using that word fairness, is he also fair to all those people?
But then he was murdered, which is also very bad.
You see, Ghana media, with all due respect to you, you also have a problem. The problem is when an incident happens like this, you sensationalize it, and attention is taken away from the corporates. First of all, let me ask a few questions. Security wise, I ask, at what time did Anas hear that Ahmed Suale has been murdered? At what time did Anas put on social media that Ahmed Suale has been murdered? Had he visited Ahmed Suale's family even to see the dead body? At what time did Anas get the chance to call the Atlanta, Georgia senator and complain that I have killed? You see, all these questions I'm asking, journalists did not even listen, because that time you perceived Anas as thank God, and therefore you didn't give anybody benefit of the doubt.
What was the significance of these questions you're asking?
The significance of these questions is that if you are doing investigations, go and watch ID, family, husband and wife. If they come and the wife is murdered, the first suspect is the husband. If a husband is murdered, the first suspect is the wife. Okay? Then they begin to extend it to the close associates. All these things were not done. And because I showed his pictures, you are accusing me. Get it straight. You don't know. Now let me tell you. Anas reported me to U.S. government. When I got to Houston, they stopped me for about 7 hours. Okay? They did the investigation, everything. They said, go. Okay? Now, I believe in police. Here. Competent police. All these investigations that they've done, nothing pointed to Agyapong. Are you saying they are not competent? What I will do if I'm president, I will encourage the police, the security agencies to go and investigate it to the bottom, to get the actual culprit.
But you are suspicious that Anas himself may be part of it?
Yeah, because of his reaction. Because he didn't show remorse, anything. Somebody, your I don't know the
confident
word. I wouldn't say confident. I wouldn't say that. But you let me reserve.
Okay, it's a very touchy and emotional issue. So let's let's move on. Let's move on to the gossip part. Or shall I take some text message from you? Or you have something to say? It looks like you want to add something to this Suale conversation. I'm ending it here.
No, I wanted to tell you that if I'm elected today, whether the case is dead or not, I will bring it back again.
So that we can find the murderer.
Yes, so that we can find it.
Whilst the way, because of the last thing you said, I need to extend this conversation because another matter in which your name is also mentioned, I don't know whether it's related, I think it's unrelated, is JB Danquah's murder. There again, they have said that you were the first person to arrive there.
Who was the first person to arrive there? What about the police? When I went there, I saw the wife's sister,
yes,
who was my clerk, the communications committee
from Parliament. Yes.
I saw police officers there in the house. I saw JB's brother also there. The 3 police officers who always patrol around my area in East Legon, first call around 4:30 a.m. I was complaining, at this hour, who is calling me? Apparently he was on the line. Then he said, oh, Honorable, one of your colleagues has been murdered. I said, who? Then he said, JB. So I asked, where does he live? Then he gave me direction.
Oh, you didn't know where he lived?
No, I didn't know. So they gave me direction to the place.
Oh, that's how you showed up there?
Yes. Yeah,
I
they
see.
gave me direction. My wife is a witness. I was there with them when they called me. And the police officers are still here. You know, so how come? And first of all, JB was not a close friend, but we are colleagues in parliament. I had nothing against him. So what will happen? Why will I do such a thing? And let me tell you, I have that human touch. I don't have time to go and kill human beings. What would I gain from that? What would I gain, my brother? How long?
So as president, we demand from you resolution of 2 murders. You say that you're going to resolve Ahmed Suale's murder,
yes,
and JB Danquah's murder.
Yes.
You resolve it as president.
Yes.
What power will you have to do it?
You see, the problem is, if the president shows interest, the police will work, and I will show interest. I will show interest because it's me that have been accused. So it's important to exonerate myself, come out with the truth. That is all.
Okay. When I interviewed Alan Shermartin last week here, he said that whereas it's a new thing, there's a novel thing for the MPP to want to break the 8. It is also new for John Mahama, who wants to return as former president. Right. And so much as the MPP needs to do a lot of work to be able to change the status quo and break the 8, John Dramani Mahama must also do a huge amount of work to convince Ghanaians that a former president can be re-elected. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Because, you see, the cycle is such that every 8 years, at least what we know, we change governments. So, MPP admitting that we should break the 8 means that our back is on the wall.
Yes.
Because of the 8 years. But this time we want to make a record. Instead of 8, we'll go to 12. Okay? So, because we want to break the 8, there are certain things we have to do. And I think I just read something here that Ken Ufuriata now is saying that the private bonds will not be touched.
Yeah.
We thank God. If not, we are going to lose miserably.
The election?
Yes.
On the individual bondholders?
Yes. Yes. We're going to lose miserably. It's good he has made a U-turn. You see, so with what is going on in the world, it doesn't favor MPP. But the unfortunate thing for NDC is also that they've been in power before and they were not good managers. That is why you need a businessman now, and that is Agyapong for you. You need a selfless leader. You need a leader who cares about the future of the country. You need a leader who places Ghana first. And these guys, or these gentlemen, I will stand tall because I will show all my track record, what I've done for this country as a member of parliament and not a minister, not even a minister. What I've done, my record will speak for me.
Somebody was asking when we put out this earlier today that that was a question on Alan Shermartin talking about John Mahama needs to break something. The Alan Shermartin, that has ended now. Somebody said that Kennedy is great. He's very well exposed, and so he's marking you and the other candidates. Exposure, Kennedy tops everyone. Articulates, carrying the narrative, Kennedy tops everyone. And then he says that wealth, perhaps of individual wealth of all the candidates, most likely Kennedy is the richest among them. On policy, Kennedy is not first, he's not second, he's not third. Policy.
Has he ever given me a chance, or has he heard what I'm going to do?
Well, what you are going to do is the future, but in terms of record of policy.
Which
policy have you? You have not been a minister before. You've not been a deputy. You can't say that as Minister of Agric, I did this. Also, says as Minister of Agric from 2017, I've stopped the importation of
Don't
bees.
forget, I've been.
Alan Martin says as Minister, 1 district, 1 factory, PSI. Ahmed Agyapong says presidential spokesperson, I did that. Joe Garte says railway minister, attorney general, I did that. Kennedy Agyapong can't say anything.
I can say a lot. First of all, for being a member of parliament for 6 consecutive terms, it's a great achievement. Coming from NDC constituency.
Oh, that was NDC before?
Yes.
You were the first to win for NDC? And you've held it for 6
consecutive terms.
Oh, that's clearly flipping a constituency to the MPP. Clearly.
Right.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm the chairman of Defense and Interior Committee. I've been the chairman of Local Government Committee. I've been a chairman of Communication Committee. Go and ask all members of this committee my performance. Yes, go and ask. And again, the person is talking of wealth. It's not wealth that we're talking about here. The employment that I have created in this country. None of the candidates, MPP, NDC, none of the candidates, when they come, ask them, how many of the candidates from NPP and NDC have employed even 1,000 workers? And do you think you need what? A professor to create jobs? That is why I'm saying that I believe in conceptual thinking.
But as president, there's a lot more for you to do, not just this. The president's desk is full. You see how big the table is.
The table.
You're doing ECOWAS, you're doing foreign affairs, you're doing Africa, you're doing continental free trade. I'm going to ask you about that.
We need very easy to run this country. One policy of mine will change everything.
Which is?
Discipline. Discipline will change this country. Law and order. That is all we need. We don't need professor whatever.
So discipline from the top.
Everywhere. Every Ghanaian has to be disciplined. You see, you are talking of the top. Yes, it starts from the top. I will discipline myself. And therefore, it will be easier for me to check my ministers. It will be easier for the ministers to check their directors because they know what the president stands for.
Okay, I have a set of questions for you. I'll take the text messages before then. But let me ask you, will you make more money as president?
At this point in my life, I don't need to make money. I want to make a difference in society. I've said it before, I'm saying it again, that if I'm elected as president, the presidential salary and whatever money I'm going to make, I'll put it in an escrow and set up a presidential scholarship and touch every constituency with my salary. Every constituency, a child will be given scholarship to go to university.
On the president's salary?
On the president's
275 constituencies?
Yes.
You won't finish that. 12, how many? 4 years, how many?
Let me tell you.
12 times 4,
let
48?
Let me tell you. If I make 100,000
cedis per month,
hypothetical,
on all your everything.
Right, on all everything, 100,000. In 12 months, it's 1.2 million. 1.2 million, 275 constituencies. Every child will get 3,000. Do your calculation.
Yeah, you can do that. That works.
Yeah.
That works.
So 275 constituencies. I'll give 3,000 cedis.
Will you be interested in government contracts? Will you, if I come to you, you are president, I say, I come, Kennedy, the Ministry of Communication is doing a big 5G project. I have some partners. Can you talk to the minister for me? Will you do that?
You see, you have to put your documents,
I'll show
your
you
proposal,
that I have partners from Sweden and all that. Please tell the minister that they should favor Paul Adumochiri for this contract. Will you do that?
You see, your partnership with Swedish doesn't intimidate me. You should prove that you're competent to do the job.
Well, but if I have partners who can do it.
What I will do is introducing you to the minister, but not push or force the minister to give you the contract.
No, but that's all I need. Don't push. Just tell the minister. Just say that the minister would please have a look at. That's all I need.
Yeah, just look at that. Is that
corruption?
No, that is not corruption.
Really? But
no.
I'm taking my advantage of knowing you and coming to you as president.
If you do anything wrong, contrary to whatever your proposal is, you go to jail.
You tell the attorney general to work on me.
Yeah.
So if I come to you in that place, I say, oh, but Kennedy, I'm
afraid you go to jail.
Really? So no favor for anyone.
Don't vote for me. You go to jail.
No favor for anyone.
No favor. I will jail you.
You can't do president like that in Africa.
Why not? Let me give you an example. You see, you sit here as a black man with
See
a
what
nice...
is it Donald Trump's problem? Every day you're sacking somebody.
Hold on. This morning,
Yeah.
Tennessee,
In America.
right, in America, 3 fire officers were fired just for late response. Late.
Oh, I see.
3. They've been fired.
Yes.
What has a fire officer got to do with a murder by police officers?
But it's a late arrival.
Precisely. That is how the system...
That's discipline.
Discipline. That's how systems work. Ghanaians, that is why I'm saying that change needs us. Change needs us. Because everything happening in this country clearly indicates that we are indisciplined. These same Ghanaians, when they travel abroad and working, and the systems are working, they follow the systems. These same workers sometimes become the best workers.
Yeah, so it's for you, the political leader, to change the system.
Yes, of course.
It's not the people, it's the system.
It's the system.
Led by the leader.
Yes.
Okay. So you are promising us that you're going to show us that this is the system you are bringing, everybody must fall in line.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
And it has been 700 million a month. And 700 million, we could have established industries for these young men. You will not get 100,000 people working, but at least the sustainability would have been there, where young men and women, even if they are 20,000 out of 100, will have permanent jobs. Okay, so from 2017 to date, if NACOP was spending 700 million, you multiply it by 6, that would have been giving you about 400 and something, 4.2 billion. And my brother, 4.2 billion would have established a lot of industries here. And the ripple effect, those permanent workers, their family members, and everybody, you will see that, and taxes that we're going to get out of that. Although in the initial stages, there will be challenges because you need to build the industries. But in the long run, it would have been more beneficial than what we are going through. So I will say that, yes, by and large, there have been some mistakes that we've made that are not means worse. But the problem that every country is facing in the world, Ghana is not exceptional. And therefore, propagandas that go on every day, we have to be careful, because it did happen under President Kufuor's era, where the first 6-7 years it did marvelously well, and the world crude oil prices went up from $59 to $147 in May 2008. Then July it went to 174. Prices went up, transportation, food, and Ghanaians did not forgive MPP. That time I warned them, said, look, if you make a mistake and vote for NDC, and within 6 months, Ghanaians were crying.
After 6 months of NDC?
Yes. So the same thing is happening. But I will not sit here and say that I'm an MPP and therefore all is well. All is not.
But let me ask you something. MPP and NDC argue about this. MPP said John Mahama is incompetent. The incompetent one, they called him. And then MPP came to power. Today, the NDC is also saying MPP is incompetent because of a particular denominator, IMF. John Mahama went to the IMF in 2013 or so. Kufuor and Kenoforiata have gone to the IMF. After they inherited IMF, exited Ghana from the IMF, they've had to go back to the IMF. So the people are saying that if you are incompetent, I'm also incompetent. What is your analysis of this NDC IMF, MPP IMF?
You see, during the time that NDC went to IMF, I think in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay. There was no global crisis or pandemic. Okay? There were no wars that affected the whole world's economy. So you could see that it was a complete mismanagement of the economy. I'm not holding brief for MPP, but at least they can lean on something and say that, look, the COVID. Let me take this opportunity. I'll be boldly and blunt and explain to you that most countries, a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yes.
They didn't have jobs. They were staying home.
After COVID, during and after COVID.
Okay, some were given stipends to survive. Ghana, no worker in this country was asked to stay home.
Government workers.
Government workers.
And they were paid.
And they were paid.
Even when they couldn't go to work.
Right.
And they didn't pay water bill and light bill.
Right. You add it yourself. You know the performance of MPP during the COVID. I'm not holding brief. We've made some mistakes that we all have to accept, and I'll be the first person to accept. But when you compare the two governments, Akufo-Addo and Mahama, Mahama is not alternative to Ghana.
Why not?
Because the man has been fortunate to succeed at a most for 2 years. He has been fortunate to go one term, which is 4 years, 6 years. And we saw what happened in this country. So what is he going to tell Ghanaians again? What is Mahama going to tell Ghanaians?
He's telling Ghanaians that MPP is corrupt.
MPP is corrupt. NDC is corrupt. That is why you have Agyapong coming in.
Agyapong is MPP.
I'm a disciplined MPP.
But how do we believe? How do we believe? And this is a rhetorical question. Forgive me, I'm doing a devil's advocate. How do we believe that Agyapong is not corrupt when you are so rich? In Ghana, you are rich. You are a thief.
You see, I work hard. I was hawking on the street. I was born into a poor home. Like I said earlier,
we hear these stories all the time.
Let me tell you something. Born into a poor home, hawking on the street, washing plates in Germany, driving taxi in America, establishing business, and today I'm here. I have something to show for, and that is unique. Unfortunately, in this country, you consider or perceive every businessman to be criminal.
Yes, because he's given a minister bribe before. Most businessmen.
Well, I don't give bribes.
Have you given money to anybody who gave you a contract or something like
that?
Yeah,
after everything, Christmas, maybe I'll give you something. Yes, fine. But I don't go and entice
that take this and give me the contract.
Take this and give me. You can check from everywhere. I won't do it.
Is there corruption in Ghana?
Corruption everywhere in the world.
Are you corrupt?
I'm not. Let me give you one example. I met an Indian last week, and he said there's a project that he thinks I can influence. The actual cost of the project, the estimate that they've given them, is 26 million. Okay, the guy comes to say that he can do it for 9. The actual cost is 9, but of course, as a businessman, he has to make profit with whoever introduced them, 3 million, making 12. Then he said to me, I'm going to give you 3 million. So I'm going to, excuse me, I will add it to the 12 to make 15. And I said no to him. It's a Ghana first. I don't want the 3 million. If you know you can do the job for 12 million, so be it. The young man that came from America with their ticket and everything, whatever you want to do for them, yes. But me, I won't take any money. And the Indian man was there with his young engineer son who is engineer. He said, wow, I have goose pimples. I've worked in Africa for 22 years. I have never seen a black man reject $3 million like you.
Why did you reject it?
I rejected because if you know the actual cost is 9 and you want to inflate it to 15 and give me 3 million at the expense of the poor people that have no good education, no drinking water, hell no. Joy FM did well last week by showing a school somewhere in the north, Pandai or so, kids that are lying on the floor. And I will go and take $3 million. No, I won't do it. Ghana first.
Have you not done a government contract yourself before?
I've executed several contracts.
Did you add any money?
Yeah, of course, as a businessman.
For yourself?
Yeah, for myself.
Yeah.
I'm the.
Why did you add? You are a patriotic Ghanaian.
But if you are patriotic, it doesn't mean I'm investing, say, $20 million in a project.
Then you get $20 million back.
How do you get $20 million
back? Yeah, so that's.
Then how would your business stay? You see, what you need is the $20 million with everything, taxes and everything. Your margin should not be more than 30%.
Of the 20 million?
Yeah. So after paying, say, 15% taxes and everything, if your profit margin is 15%, you stay in business. And that's my principle. I will not go for a soldier came to me just this evening before coming here, and he's telling me a story why he's being removed from his position because they bring a figure and the actual amount is 10, they increase it to 200, and he challenges them. Now he has a problem. See, that is corruption.
Yeah.
And that is what I stand for.
So the money that is shared before the business is the corruption. The one that is shared after the business is okay?
No, the margin too.
Oh, the margin?
Yes.
So you share it after the business, make sure the margin is not more than 30%?
Yes. But if you know it's 200 and you go there, increase it to 500, my brother, that is not fair.
So if I do a government contract, I execute a government contract of 500 cedis, I am allowed to benefit 30% of the 500 cedis.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
Okay. So
and that includes all the taxes you are going to pay.
Everything. So that I can stay in business.
Right. So that you can stay in business.
I see. Okay. You are still on Good Evening Ghana and it's live. We've just been doing the economy and we did the IMF questions that had. Okay. So if Ghanaians were voting, why should John Mahama not be an option?
The fear of John Mahama coming to power is that one, John Mahama has not proven himself to be a good leader because he failed this country. So giving him another opportunity, like when when he went out of power, he was going around now telling people that he has learned his lesson. This man, from his track record, he needs only one term, 4 years. Even when he knew that if he manages the economy well, he will have another term opportunity, that he could not even do it. Now that he has only one term, God knows what this man is coming to do, if it is not greed. So I'm scared for Ghanaians that